Welcome back to another episode of Lancescurv. And of course, you probably thought I was going crazy earlier. I set up a show and I pushed it back and I pushed it back. And Madamwhipass called me on the phone and she said she wanted to do a segment that we were going to do the other night. So I said, we got to do this and make this priority, right? And the other one I pushed back, and I might push the other one back tomorrow, but don't worry about that one. That's coming after. But this one I thought would be more juicy with Madamwhipass here with me speaking about TD Jakes. We don't know if he'll come after this, but that photo there is not him. Actually, it's just somebody who looks like him, and we doctored it up. So it kind of, I put his name there. Maybe they'll put a little target on my backside. But I'm glad everybody's here. We're going to have some fun. And Madamwhipass told me that it's going to be a surprising response to the whole scandal with TD Jakes. So her line is open, Madamwhipass. You are here. And you have a disclaimer that you would like to speak on before we move forward. Talk to us.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So the thumbnail, you see that woman with the dreads? The dreads are on point. The complexion is on point. But the outfit, Madamwhipass does not dress like that. I know the name Madamwhipass would sort of lends itself for anybody to conjure up such an image, but no, Madamwhipass dresses very moderately. So I just, but other than that, it's a cool thumbnail. Just a couple of things I want to talk about and get out the way.
You're not on the speakerphone, are you? On the regular phone,
right? And potatoes.
You kind of fading out. Are you on the regular phone the same way we said, like talking directly?
I'm on. Yep, I got it to my ear. How about that?
Okay, we good. Just as long as everybody can see.
My ear.
Here.
Okay.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
So, I just want to say a couple of things. First thing, Tasha K is insane. And I don't give a damn about Jermaine Jackson and his sexual assault lawsuit. He probably did it. I have no respect for Jermaine. I have no respect for any man that would lay down and have kids with a woman that already has kids by his brother. Now you got your children calling Uncle Daddy, and your children are cousin brothers. That's some bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway.
Oh, that's bad.
It's some bullshit. So whatever Jermaine is going through, fuck him. All right. So the title of this video is "Don't Go Down on TD Jakes."
It's too late for some, possibly, allegedly.
But I have to say a couple of things. Now, the other day, TD Jakes made a statement, and he said something very, very, very familiar. And when he said it, I said, where did I hear that from? And he basically repeated what Eddie Long stated, line for line. If y'all remember, y'all can pull up the video is still there. Eddie Long is wearing a cream suit, and he's addressing his congregation about his allegations. And he started off with, I never said I was a perfect man. And something about, but I am not the man they are portraying me to be in the media. And TD Jakes made the same statement. Now, Eddie Long came out strong when he addressed his congregation. And he said, I feel like David fighting Goliath. I got 5 rocks, and I ain't thrown one yet. And he grabbed his wife by her hand and damn near dragged her off the stage. So
he had rocks all right. He got his rocks off all right.
Yeah.
Oh, she muted herself. She got muted. Okay, Madamwhipass. Okay, yeah, you were muted.
So he ended up paying those boys off. So
That's terrible. So
when I heard
he's innocent, but he paid them off.
So when I heard TD Jakes, this is annoying holding this phone up. And so, you know, my face is pushing buttons and shit, but it's okay. Anyway, so when I heard TD Jakes make the same statement, I thought to myself,
You know what? Before we move forward, I found it and I think I can play it. Let's try this out. Let's try this out. Let's see if we can hear this going on here. Turn this up. Might be giving me a little issue here. You get the hand clapping going on for a second before he speaks. This is Eddie Long.
I can't hear it. Hopefully they can.
So the basically saying you can't hear it. Okay. That is strange. Okay. Okay, let me see something here. It's not connecting somehow.
Can they hear it?
Yeah, it's not, they said they can't hear it. Okay, we'll take care of that. We're going to do it the bootleg way. Okay, we're going to do it the bootleg way. We're going to do it the bootleg way. Okay, we're going to do it this way. We're going to do it straight through the phone. Same way we used to do shows back in the day. Let's turn this up. Okay, here we go. See how this goes. They're just pulling him on. Get to the words there, buddy. He's primping, soaking it all in. Come on, man. Get to talking. Running new birds. Okay, here we go. Good morning to all our other guests.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
And I would be remiss not to say good morning to the world. Y'all may be seated in the presence of the Lord. I do want to remind folk that we're here at 8 every Sunday morning. Sunday morning. And I'll be here next week. First of all, let me thank you on behalf of my wife, my family, and for all of your support, your prayers. I guess it's the way I'm holding the phone. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to. We are certainly humbled of such a loving congregation, and
It's going in and out. It's not that serious.
I realize that many have been waiting on me to say something, and I have to do.
It's going in and out for me.
Yeah, this thing is too much cheering going on. It was just talking. My first responsibility was to my family. And then my next responsibility is not to address the world before I address my family new birth. Love you, son. Let me, because I'm pastor, I want to talk to you for a moment and make a statement, and we'll be gone. This is an extremely difficult time. For me, it's an extremely difficult time for my family. It's extremely difficult time for you, because many who called you and asked you questions and all of these kind of things, you ain't never got this many phone calls in your life. It's a time when you actually see the veil dropped and who's with you and who. It's been so as a pastor, to make this statement, I want to help everybody. And the first thing, I just want to talk to you for about 10 or 15 minutes. I want to thank all the pastors who left their churches, all my sons and daughters. Oh wait, this is part. I should have played part 2. But you know what though? This is so long, and the sound was going in and out. Let me just see something. Let me just run this up on the part 2. I want to hear that one part, because that was the real meat of it. There's a simple emphasis that I would like to use to minister, and that was given direction to our church and burn. Let's stretch this thing out. Bishop Long, Eddie Long, and you can put your name in that blank, will have some bad situations. The righteous face painful situations with a
determined expectancy. We are not exempt from pain, but he promises to deliver us out of our pain. Solutions or situations of destruction, pain caused by floods.
Okay, that's enough.
Is he wearing a cream suit?
Yeah, the cream suit. Yeah.
All right, well, forget it. But trust me when I tell you, that's what he said. I'm
Yeah,
not a
I remember
perfect
that.
man, but I'm
Right.
not a man that they portray me to be in the media. And yeah, TD Jakes stated the same thing. So it's that's one thing that made me say, And the other thing is this. I had to question, well, why was TD Jakes hanging out with the likes of a Puff Daddy anyway? But is there something really wrong with that? See, because I'm hearing all these things. Oh, there's video. He attended freak-offs at Puffy's house, and there's video of TD Jakes and men, and he's a power bottom. And all I'm hearing is a bunch of rumors. Now, with Eddie Long, I went so hard on Eddie Long because there was proof. We saw that young man with a broken heart on the news talking about how he cries in the shower. You know, those young men came out and spoke. But in the case of TD Jakes, I'm just hearing a whole bunch of rumors. I've seen pictures of TD Jakes and Puffy posing for the camera. I don't know what type of event that was. Doesn't mean it was at one of Puffy's parties. It could have been a fundraising event. It could have just been, hey, let's have
your
lunch.
phone, right? You're laying down? It was kind of like, now you're muted again. Unmute yourself, madam. I think your face is touching because it was like it was almost covering the speaker.
Hold on. Like, let me do something else. Let me put this, let me go in the chat so that thing ain't there. And it won't touch my phone, my face no more. Okay. So again, I've seen pictures of TD Jakes and Puff Daddy together. So just because they took a picture together, I can't say that TD Jakes is a power bottom. The pictures I saw didn't lend me to think that, he was at one of those Puffy parties. I'm sure Puffy threw a party and then Puffy threw a party, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And from what I saw, it's just two men taking a picture together, like people do every day.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, but go ahead.
And so maybe Madamwhipass is getting soft in her old age, but I need proof. All this proof people talk about, oh, there's video, there's pictures. We haven't seen any of that yet. So I need proof before I come out with the whip. And my whip is tucked away. And I just say, don't go down on TD Jakes. At this point, I started to say he should be uplifted. But the moment I began to say that, something else came to my mind. When Eddie Long was going through that, and I was looking for this interview that TD Jakes did on CNN during those Eddie Long days. And TD Jakes made a statement in that CNN interview that, hey, these boys were of age. As if, he kind of condoned the actions and behaviors of a one Eddie Long. And at that point, I sat back and said, is that special? So even with these 3 examples I just presented to you all, it does not scream to me that he's a power bottom. I need people to come out like that young man did on the news in order for me to start cracking my whip. And that's that. I'm not really appreciating. I've seen some memes that were like, whoa. And I think it's unfair to him right now because all we are hearing at this point are rumors, no bona fide facts as it was with Eddie Long. And so I think everybody should just step back until there's actual video. Like that pastor a few years ago, he was going down on some chick. I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. That's facts. That's video. That's him giving some chick a crazy tongue lashing from hell. And hey, you know, but other than that, at this point, I can't bring out the whip. I just can't. I like to be
Keep the whip
fair.
close by.
I like to be fair.
I know. And you know what? Madamwhipass hasn't gotten softer in her old age, but you're thinking more because the Madamwhipass of even 10 years ago would be on the alert and on the patrol, righteously a predator toward any wrongdoing, but you wouldn't say anything until you had proof. I have to give that to you. But okay, you're a pastor. You're a pastor. You're one of the richest pastors, black church, mega church, highly visible. You have to watch how you carry yourself because you know how black folks are and folks all over the world. Without a shred of proof that he did anything, I understand that. But do not give the appearance by your associations with certain people. We all know how Puff Daddy gets down without me seeing it. There's enough stuff out there. Any contact in my book for TD Jakes to have with P. Diddy is one of a salvation type connection. Not hanging out with this brother. It don't look good. Now, TD Jakes, at some point, I can't tell you the exact time in his life, but he admitted to homosexual activity in his life. He admitted to this.
For real?
I can't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He struggled to that effect. I'll say that strong. Yeah. He said this. So that's in him. Unless that was a lie, but I'm just saying this off the record, but I remember hearing, and maybe there are people here who might remember that, right? So now that we know that he has this in him, or as a struggle, or even something conquered, you still are a pastor. And, you know, Jesus dealt with a whore who, you know, washed his feet, but that was a different kind of association. But here he is now, of all the places that he can go. People are going to take pictures, so I can't fault that. But repeatedly, at different points, I don't know whether it was 2 times or 10 times, but they definitely had a relationship as far as at least being friends or friendly or acquaintances, you know, because sometimes you get celebrities or celebrity pastors and they say, hey, I know you, let's take a photo, and they put it on page 6. Aren't there enough people laying down in the hospital in his church, sick, maybe near transition? Aren't there some special needs children in that congregation who can deal with a nice little envelope, especially at this time. He didn't know when things were going to break, but there's enough work to do in the church as a pastor. And I'm not saying that he cannot minister or pass through in a certain situation that doesn't look a certain way. I'm not a pastor. And I'm going to tell you, if there was a house full of gay men frolicking every weekend, 3-4 story home, private home, and you hear the music and you see the cars going and it's all of them flaming, and you see me coming out of there 3-4 o'clock in the morning with a big smile on my face, pulling up my zipper with some stains on my pants, that don't look right. Now, we can't say he was caught that way, but it's too much now. He has to address it. He shouldn't have to if he did the right thing and didn't have the appearance of any wrongdoing, but P. Diddy, of all people.
I will say this.
Go ahead.
As anointed as he is, and I know scriptures just run through his mind. I know he hears David talking. I know he hears Joseph talking. I know he hears Paul and Peter and Jesus, through the scriptures, because it happens to me. And there's 2 scriptures that ran through my mind as you started to speak, Lance. And one is, let not your good be evil spoken of, which means you got to be careful as to what you do and how you do it, so that it doesn't give room for anyone to take it out of context and twist it and manipulate it into something that it is not.
Exactly.
And the second scripture I hear is, give no place for the devil. Yeah. So he gave place for the devil. I don't expect anyone in their walk with Christ, whether they've been walking with him for 10 minutes or 10 years or 40 years, we still gonna slip up. We still gonna make mistakes from time to time, and it shouldn't be often, but we still may make a mistake as if we are babies in Christ. But then again, I think once you get in a certain height in the Lord, there's certain mistakes you ought not make anymore.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
In doing that, he has allowed his good to be evil spoken of. Does that mean he's a power bottom? No. He gave place for the devil. Does that mean he's a power bottom? No. Until we see some video, until a man or men come forward and give dates and times and their testimony as to the power bottom activities that may have taken place, I have to keep my whip. It's put away right now.
I like the way you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you, he is well versed, we'll all agree, in how he should carry himself. So this shouldn't have gotten this far. The damage control that he's attempting to do by running after those who speak on him without the facts as far as any video is concerned, I understand that. But to me, he seems to be a desperate man. You're running after YouTubers. You know how this world is. He's preached on those same very scriptures. He understands the power of not only being a mega preacher, pastor, whatever you want to call him, but a celebrity. He is a celebrity. If he walks down the street, many who are coming against him, as far as the YouTube videos of the blogs, they'll be the first one running up to him to take a selfie. I understand that. And he's got to understand that because he's been around for a long time. He knows the risks involved, but sometimes we can drop our guard a little too much. And to me, in my opinion, if he was really, really, really on point with his, I'm not saying this is a game, but this is street talk. If he was on point with his game, no way would he be seen in any atmosphere. And if so, if people ran up on him that was a celebrity that, hey, you know, praise God, bless you all, it's good to see you, and bounce, damage control. But no, he seems to be a desperate man now. It's as though, and this is my opinion and my perspective, I'm not saying this is how it is, but he seems to be a man who knows something. And I can go down the list of the things I heard because being in my position, doing these shows, people are going to say things to me. But there's something that I want to interject into it, which may not be true because you said that you need to see proof. But there are people who run with him who are very dangerous from what I hear. That there are many people who are members of the church, men who would like to come out, family of these men, young and old, who would like to come out and share things, but they're scared for their life. I'm not saying this is the truth or it's true, but this is a couple of the things that I heard. And we're speculating, really, all of us, everybody, as this comes out. And it's on the back of the whole P. Diddy thing. And just like it was said in the chat room, that they're probably coming after all of his associates also. But my thing is, he seems to be a desperate man. Why are you trying to shut down the internet from people saying these things to you? Right? Or about you? Me, if I was innocent, and in this case, I would address it. And I'd leave it alone. I'd let everybody talk. Because if I know that I'm not guilty, I know at the end of the day, everyone who says anything against me, as far as the falsehoods are concerned, they're going to make themselves look stupid. You see? So it doesn't look right to now go after, and he has the money and the high-powered lawyers to shut people down. But what scares me is that with all of this overwhelming whispering, I'll call it, nobody's coming forward. Maybe it's true that they're scared. Maybe not. But I tell you, somebody, somewhere, somehow, if it is true, I'm not against the man. All I'm saying is my perspective and speculation from my intuition inside. That's all I can go on. But I can't say for sure, but it ain't looking right. See, your reaction to the stimuli tells me a whole lot of what's in you. See, I remember being in a church service. And excuse my French, I just have to speak it the way I heard it. I was a little boy, maybe about 7 years old. I think it was back in 1970. There was a church my mother and a few of her friends would go to every now and then. Pastor Kinsey. If there was anybody who was truly anointed, it was him. This guy did not play. Short little guy, older man. Used to call him Pop Kinsey. And I don't know what part of Brooklyn he was in, but it was in Brooklyn. I used to love to go there and listen to him talk and preach. Well, anyway, there was a woman sitting down. And you know, sometimes when somebody sits in the middle, they have to walk out and you have to squeeze up. Sometimes you have to stand up and let them go by.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this woman was a heavy, older woman. She was stepping through, and there was another woman who was a little younger. Of course, everybody was older than me at that point, 7 years old. I say she's about 30 something years old. Well, this woman, the heavy set woman who was trying to leave out to go to the restroom, I believe, stepped on with her heel into the toes of the woman sitting down. And immediately, the woman sitting down who was in pain got up. God damn it, bitch. You can't watch. I mean, she just.
Ooh, in church?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. B-I-T-C-H. Can't you see where you? And the woman was so shocked that she didn't get off her foot yet. She fell into the woman.
Mm.
The woman cussed her out even more and felt so shamed. And Pastor Kinsey had to stop because this was like the third row up from the front. He just stopped and looked. And she felt ashamed and limped on out of the place. What I'm saying is that one's reaction will tell you more about what's inside of them and the circumstances than their actions. See? So his action, and we can say it's a reaction to dealing with the allegations, but what was his real reaction now? What was going on through his head that he had to sit down now and get a team of people to go after YouTubers? Might there be a modicum of truth in what they're saying? Is he going after them to shut them down so something else doesn't ease through? Because now if people are talking, more people will talk. He knows that for most YouTubers, it's a source of income. So still remains to be seen.
Well, anybody who knows social media, if you are the topic of the day, you might be at the topic for a few days, but trust and believe something's coming right behind you and they'll be on that and forget all about you.
That's true.
So all you gotta do is just shut up.
Well,
and it'll pass.
Well, look at it this way. You know, you have many factions of people out there who feel a certain way about pastors and say, look at him. Yeah, good. He's fallen. See, the church ain't no good. The pastor ain't no good. See that? They're all corrupt. You're going to have that faction that's always there, right? And you know, in this society, they build you up to tear you down. Knowing that, he's not a dumb man. He's got to know that when he flies in these private jets and luxury cars and all the money and people are suffering out here, that there's going to be a feeling that if you see, they're positioned to see what he has as bad because they're suffering.
But you see, listen, look, just what you said, he knows his position. That's another thing that makes me think, I don't believe this man, as anointed as he is, would be in a room full of men at a P. Diddy party in the age of cell phones, at your fingertips, video and cameras, and participating in power bottom activities, knowing people can take a picture of you or video of you in 2.5 seconds.
Let me tell you something about what you just said. Power, fame, celebrity is an intoxicant. And when you're in something, if he's possibly in this and never came away from it, it's already confirmed that he said that he had some type of homosexual dealings earlier in life. That's the match. Under the wood, under the newspaper. Did the flame go out?
I've never heard that. I did not know that.
Let me see if I can Google something. And wasn't it him who said Jesus was a business? Was it him?
I think it was. I think it was him who said it.
So a man who can utter that, if this thing is life-changing, if this thing is soul-saving, why the hell would he say something as asinine as that, even if he felt that way? Why would he say something like that? You see what I mean?
Well, it's true. Church is a business.
No, we know that, but you don't say that. We know there's a business aspect for the brick and mortar maintenance and upkeep, right? But to say that to people who wouldn't understand, you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
You don't say that. See, most people know how I talk on this show. And I can say things that others who are new to the platform will say, man, this guy is not all that. He nasty stuff he's talking about. But that's just the way I am. But there's nobody that's going to come here and say, you know, I met with Lance and he couldn't keep his hands off my backside. He kept saying nasty things. He kept calling me up with, no. But I say what's in my mind. And I don't, look, but I'm not him. I don't have that kind of fame. I don't have that kind of money. But I'll tell you one thing. And I have been in situations, not on no homo level, but I have been to parties. I used to throw parties. Lots of women willing to do whatever. They were there for that. And after a while, the rush and intoxication of lust, raw lust. Let me tell you something. Most people out here have not felt that tsunami of lust on the higher levels. I have. I'm not saying you haven't. To the point where you're breathing and your heart's beating and you going there. Damn, I can't believe I'm experiencing this. Been doing it for years, but you so relaxed in it that you can administer or receive and be relaxed with, and you go to this demonic level of lust. You forget who you are. You look and catch a look of your face in the mirror, and you see a gnarled look. I'm getting it. You're turning to a fiend. You're you, but that thing is coming out. And when you getting it, you don't give a damn. And remember, if he's there, it ain't just a couple of people who were let in the door, nondescript, who would be shocked at what they see. When you in this thing, it's a twisted, demonic brotherhood. And I don't know about the homo thing. I'm talking about those, and even the sisters, right? But I could imagine if he's in there, there are other high-powered people there. Anybody at a Diddy party behind closed doors has got some standing and a modicum of, or a bit of something to lose. He might be the one who has the most to lose, but when you're doing your thing, and I can't speak on the homo stuff, I can only speak on the hetero stuff. When you're there doing things that most people would never experience, would never feel, you gone, you high. You're high. You are high and you're out of your mind. But what's in you will come out.
I guess Pookie and Ray Ray wouldn't be, at a Diddy party, right? The people there, they ain't Pookie and Ray Ray from the block, right?
No, right. No, you're not going to have that. You're not going to have that. You're not going to have that. Anybody there has been vetted. I'll tell you, nobody's walking through that door like that. And if they were to take a picture, you're going to know who did it. Because when it comes out, what you going to say? Oh, I remember what this person was standing over there when, okay, that angle, whatever. Look, these people know, and this is my perspective, these people have a lot to lose, everybody who's there, or any freak off like that. They can't live normal lives and go to a normal swing club. They can't walk around and solicit. And let me tell you something too. I just want to throw this little tidbit in there. I've been online since 2001. You know that. 4 years before YouTube came around. I didn't get a YouTube page or channel until 5 years after it was around. I never saw the use in it early on. But from 2007, people were telling me, hey man, do you know about Eddie Long? And I'm like, who are these people